as well?
It's preparing to. It's just turned on now.
Okay.
You want me to repeat it?
Yes, please, Marie. If you just give it a little moment, and then.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're ready now. Thank you.
Invitation to unification of all souls. We, the Universal Council, invite all the knowledge seekers to participate on Wednesday, 6 p.m. CET for the unification of all the souls on this planet and in the Unicos to become one in totality, in which the dome of peace through the soul of the man is activated from that point on, which will protect the soul of physicality and the physicality of humanity. Now it's time for the dictation and not wishes.
Excuse me, we're going to have to redo it. I don't see that the recording's on here. We're not recording in the Zoom. You'll have to turn that on, Dean.
It's according to what I've got here, Rick, it's turned on.
Well, I can turn it on.
Because I've got it recorded in 2 different places, and from everything that I've got, I'm recording.
So you don't want to record the Zoom?
No, please do. But as far as I know, it's on.
No, it isn't. Because I have a record button here. I can push it. You should have it too on your Zoom panel.
Sorry. Okay. I've just realized. Okay, it can be. I'll record now. Sorry.
Okay, you have to do all that as host, otherwise it doesn't get done. All right, take 2. Let's do it again.
Yes. Invitation to unification of all souls. We, the Universal Council, invite all the knowledge seekers to participate on Wednesday, 6 p.m. CET for the unification of all the souls on this planet and in the Unicos to become one in totality, in which the dome of peace through the soul of the man is activated. From that point on.
Sorry, Marie, I'll have to interrupt again. Dean, you have to record to cloud, not to personal recording or whatever. Do you have the option to record to cloud rather than?
Yeah.
Okay, good. There.
Thank you, Rick.
Now I have a recording. Now we have a backup. Okay, take 3.
Take 3.
Invitation to unification of all souls. We, the Universal Council, invite all the knowledge seekers to participate on Wednesday, 6 p.m. CET for the unification of all the souls on this planet and in the Unicos to become one in totality, in which the dome of peace through the soul of the man is activated from that point on, which will protect the soul of physicality and the physicality of humanity. Now it's time for dictation and not wishes. We, the Universal Council, knowledge seekers, and the universal community dictate the conditions for the protection of the physical embodiment of the human race. We, the Universal Council, knowledge seekers, and the universal community dictate conditions for the elevation of the soul of the human race.
Thank you, Marie. Okay, so before I start the conduction, so a few words I will say. Don't worry about if it's connected or is not connected, and make a big deal out of it, because everybody's already connected. Also, everybody's already telecommunicating, but we're not feeling it, we're not seeing it. So this conduction is just very easy. So I start now. All of you sit in any place, anywhere that you feel comfortable, in a comfortable position. Once you sit like this, just sit comfortably, then try to see how your breathing goes down. Just become relaxed about it. Just breathe and relax. Once you feel that, see that your soul is just like a dim light in your head. It started to get bigger and bigger, and it spread out. And it's connected to the people here in the Zoom, all the knowledge seekers, all around the planet, then all the souls on this planet, and all the souls in a universe. Now the light has reached everybody. And just sit in that position. That's all, and breathe. Don't worry about anything else. It's already happening. You don't have to do anything. It's there. That's it. And just be just like that. Mehnaz?
Yes. Thank you. سلام به هموطنان و از فارسی زبان عزیز. ما در اینجا تمام بشریت بخواد وحدت داشته باشه برای حفاظت بدن ما، وجود ما در این دنیا. Should I read invitation?
And no, don't read the invitation. You just do the conduction.
روی همون جا که هستین راحت بشینین و بدنتون، افکارتون و روحتون رو آرامش بدین و میتونین یواش نفس بکشین و روی نفستون تمرکز بدین و همینجور که هستین فکر کنین یک نوری در مغز شما هست و این رو دونه دونه به افرادی که در اینجا هستن، کسایی که میشناسین، کسایی که دوست دارین، کسایی که فامیل و نزدیکانتون هستن ربط بدین و بعد کم 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 به همه دنیا اینو ربطش بدین و فکر کنین همه ما یکی هستیم و یک این حال تمام بدنهای ما رو در خودش حمایت میکنه. فکر دیگه هم نکنین که چی کار باید بکنین، همینجوری راحت بشینین و بقیهش خود به خود انجام. خیلی ممنون.
Hello, can I say now? Is it my turn?
Yes.
Thank you. So in Hindi, I will say, and the same, welcoming. हम विश्व परिषद आप सभी ज्ञान अनुसंधानियों का हार्दिक स्वागत करता है इस प्रस्तुति में, जो कि इस ग्रह और संपूर्ण ब्रह्मांड के सभी प्राण ब्रह्मांड स्वागत करता है इस प्रस्तुति में, जो कि इस ग्रह और संपूर्ण ब्रह्मांड के सभी प्राण और आत्माओं के मिलन और एकाकार को कार्यान्वित करने के लिए के लक्ष्य से होगा, जिसके फलस्वरूप इंसानियत के लिए एक संपूर्णता की अवस्था जागृत होगी और जिसके चलते कार्यान्वित हो और जागृत प्रकृति में शांति का डोम वहित प्रकाश या अस्तित्व में प्रकट होगा, जो कि इंसान की आत्मा की तथाकथित प्रस्तुति, जागृति, प्रकृति और सम्मिलित ऊर्जा शक्ति द्वारा इंसान के सशरीर और इंसानियत के भौतिक शरीर और आत्मा की अवस्था की सुरक्षा और उन्नयन के लिए होगा। आप सभी का हृदय से हार्दिक स्वागत है और अभिनंदन है। Thank you.
Hello. Olá, pessoal. Então, esse encontro dos buscadores de conhecimento do Conselho Universal para unificar todas as almas nesse planeta e únicos para se tornar uma em totalidade, ativando através da sua alma o domo da paz. E desse ponto em diante, para proteger a alma da fisicalidade e da fisicalidade da humanidade. Então, eu vou traduzir as palavras dela, da primeira moça que falou em inglês. Isso é um processo natural. Você já está conectado com tudo, você só não percebe. Então, relaxe que tudo vai acontecer naturalmente. Apenas ache um lugar confortável, sente-se, deite numa posição confortável e vamos ficar em silêncio uns 15 minutos, tá bom? Obrigado. Thank you.
Do you have number 4, please?
I am the number 4. Now we have the number 5.
Okay, so we have number 5.
Miss Patricia is number 5.
I'm number 5. Yes. El Consejo Universal invita a todos los buscadores de conocimiento a participar el día de hoy, a esta hora, a la unificación de todas las almas en este planeta y en este únicos, para que nos convirtamos uno en la totalidad, para que el domo de la paz a través del alma del hombre sea activado de un punto y que proteja a todas las almas en la fisicalidad y en la fisicalidad de la humanidad. Todos tomemos una posición cómoda. No hay una manera correcta o incorrecta de hacerlo. Simplemente sientan fluir la energía para que todo el universo se junte en este momento tan especial con todos nosotros para hacer posible esta unión de las almas, de la fisicalidad y la fisicalidad de la humanidad y todos nuestros deseos de amor para este momento tan especial donde creamos un domo que nos une a todas las almas.
In Bengali this
Thank you.
time.
Yeah, can we have number 6, please?
Yes, in Bengali this time. আমি বাংলায় বলছি। আমরা সকল আত্মার একসাথে আসার জন্য কিছু প্রস্তুতি নিচ্ছি। তা হচ্ছে আপনারা সকলে সহজভাবে আরাম করে বসুন, বসে আপনার আত্মাকে একটা ছোট আলো হিসাবে চিন্তা করেন, ক্ষীণ ছোট আলো। তারপরে সেই আলোটা আস্তে আস্তে বিস্তার করা শুরু করেন। করার পরে সব জ্ঞান অনুসন্ধানীদেরকে এই আলোর ভেতরে আনেন। তারপর আলোর বিস্তার আরো বাড়ান, ফলে সমস্ত পৃথিবী এই আলোতে ঘিরে ধরবে এবং সব আত্মাই এই আলোর প্রভাবে প্রভাবিত হবে। এই ধন্যবাদ। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, Mosfet. Can we have number 7, please?
Yes, I will say it now in Hebrew. שלום לכולם. מה שאנחנו רוצים לעשות בעצם עכשיו זה בעצם לתת מהנשמה שלנו ולהתחבר בין כל הנשמות שקיימות. מה שאנחנו נעשה, כל מי שמקשיב, אתם יכולים לשבת בצורה נוחה איפה שאתם נמצאים. קחו נשימות עמוקות, תראו איך הנשימות שלכם מעטות. ברגע שאתם מרגישים את זה, תראו איך לאט לאט הנשמה שלכם כמו קרן אור מהראש שלכם, מתחילה לגדול ולעטוף אתכם, ומתחברת אל כל מי שמסביבכם, אל כל שאר הנשמות שנמצאות פה בכדור הארץ, כל הנשמות של כל בני האדם וכל שאר היצורים, וממשיכה לגדול ומתחברת לכל הנשמות ביקום. מהרגע שהגעתם למצב הזה, פשוט תישארו ככה למשך כמה דקות. Thank you.
Yeah, hello for
Thank
French.
you.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Alors, asseyez-vous dans une situation confortable, dans une position confortable. Essayez de suivre votre respiration, se ralentir tout doucement. Juste relaxez-vous. Alors, vous voyez votre âme, imaginez votre âme comme une grande lumière qui grandit et qui s'étend ici, sur Terre, dans le système solaire, dans l'univers, dans l'unicos. Laissez cette lumière se répandre sur tout le monde. Et juste, voyez-la dans cette position. Elle est juste là. Vous n'avez rien à faire d'autre. Et on aura 15 minutes de silence. Juste après ça que je chronomètre. Merci. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have our next language, please?
I think it's me. I think it's number 9. Invito di unificazione di tutte le anime. Noi, Consiglio Universale, invitiamo tutti i ricercatori di sapienza a partecipare mercoledì alle 6 orario europeo per l'unificazione di tutte le anime in questo pianeta e in tutto l'unicos, per diventare come una totalità nel quale la cupola della pace attraverso l'anima dell'uomo è attivata da questo momento in poi e proteggerà tutte le anime fisiche e l'anima fisica dell'umanità. Grazie. Siamo presenti.
This is Andreas, number 10 in the German language. Wir können alle ganz beruhigt sein. Unsere Seelen sind wieder bereits, sind alle miteinander verbunden. Und wir brauchen nicht nervös zu sein, sondern einfach ganz relaxed und uns bequem hinsetzen. Immer langsamer ein- und ausatmen durch die Nase und alles andere wird sich von alleine ergeben. Danke.
Thank you, Andreas. We have number 11, please.
This is Gatua, number 11, for Gikoyo. Le tua dada ia na meo ito. Le tua igua muo ito ugetabruka, meo ito ugetabruka. Kule me mumwe o the halo ya ruma. Tukenyitigania meo yo ya shiobesio the siamobi. Ya dona nya munamete na shioberia ikisio the. Na muigua muiganeire tono ni watuika guo. Dai. Le tua dada ia orege na meo ito. Na tuanyitithania. Na riu kwina iburi ya meo yo yothe na thĩ yothe na mĩmũmwe yothe ya kũnyitithania ciũmbe ciothe igĩtĩre mĩĩrĩ na mĩoyo ya kĩmwĩrĩ ya ciũmbe ciothe cia thĩ kuma kũrĩ mĩtino yothe ĩngĩoneka na nĩ gwatuĩka guo. Ngai, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Westbrook. Can we have number 12, please?
Yes. مساكم خيرا. نحن متحدثي اللغة العربية بالمشاركة مع المجلس العالمي وكل باحثي المعرفة. دعوتي إلى متحدثي اللغة العربية أن يكونوا بالتساوي مع جميع متحدثي لغات العالم بتقديم الروح لحماية جسد الإنسان من أي دخيل خارجي مفروض على الإنسان من أي جهة كانت، وهذا هدف وليس تمني. فقط عليك فقط الجلوس والاسترخاء بأي وضعية كانت، وفقط دعها تعمل. شكرا جزيلا. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we have number 13, please? 13th language.
Invitația spre unificare a tuturor sufletelor. Noi, Consiliul Universal, invităm pe toți cunoscătorii cunoașterii să participe miercuri 6 post-meridian, 7 ora României, pentru unificarea tuturor sufletelor de pe această planetă și din Unicos, să devină unul în totalitate, în care Domnul Păcii, prin sufletul omului, este activat la nivelul în care poate să protejeze sufletul fizicalității și fizicalitatea umanității. Acum, vă rog frumos să vă așezați confortabil, pentru că timp de 15 minute vom sta în tăcere și vom încerca să vedem lumina sufletului omului care se află în cutia craniană. Această luminiță va apărea și încet, încet se va expanda până când va cuprinde întreaga planetă, până când va cuprinde întregul univers, până când va cuprinde întregul Unicos. Așa va fi. Acest suflet unificat al Unicosului va proteja fizicalitatea fiecărui individ și a umanității ca un tot. Vă mulțumesc!
Thank you. Can we have the 14th language, please? Do we have a 14th language? Or Fried, would you like to go next?
Okay.
Thank you.
Voor Nederlands, uitnodiging om alle zielen te verenigen. Wij, de Universele Raad, nodigen alle wetenszoekers uit om vanaf nu iedere woensdag deel te nemen om 6 uur 's avonds, Centraal-Europese tijd, wereldwijd. Alle zielen van deze planeet en in de Unicos, universum, worden één in het geheel. Daarmee wordt de droom van vrede geactiveerd door de ziel van het lichaam en het lichaam van de mensheid. Nu is het tijd voor bevel en niet alleen wensen. Wij, de Universele Raad, de wetenszoekers en de universele gemeenschap, bevelen de condities voor het beschermen van de fysieke uitdrukking van het menselijk ras. En wij bevelen de condities om de zielen te verheffen van de menselijke beschaving. Dank jullie. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Do we have another language that would like to read the invitation?
Yes, UC Marathi.
Thank you.
आम्ही युनिव्हर्सल काउन्सिल सर्व ज्ञान साधकांना बुधवारी संध्याकाळी 6 वाजता या ग्रहावरील सर्व आत्म्यांच्या एकत्रीकरणासाठी आणि युनिकॉस मध्ये संपूर्णपणे एक होण्यासाठी सहभागी होण्यासाठी आमंत्रित करतो, ज्यामध्ये मनुष्याच्या आत्म्याद्वारे शांततेचा घुमट सक्रिय केला जातो. त्या बिंदूपासून जे भौतिकतेच्या आत्म्याचे आणि मानवतेच्या भौतिकतेचे रक्षण करेल. धन्यवाद. थँक यू.
Thank you. Is there any more languages that would like to come forward, please?
Casimir, are you here? Okay, so since we have no more languages,
here is Andreas. I understood something wrong. I will read the invitation in German.
Okay, you go ahead, please.
Wir der Einladung zur Vereinigung aller Seelen. Wir, der Universalrat, laden alle Wissenssucher ein, am Mittwoch um 18 Uhr zentraleuropäische Zeit an der Vereinigung aller Seelen auf diesem Planeten und im Unikos teilzunehmen, um in der Gesamtheit eins zu werden, in der der Dom des Friedens durch die Seele des Menschen von diesem Punkt an aktiviert wird, der die Seele der Physikalität und die Physikalität der Menschheit schützen wird. Thank you.
Thank you. So everybody can sit for 15 minutes silent, no chatting, all the microphone closed. And when the time is up, I tell you. Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful souls, for being present. I'd just like to gently bring you back into this particular moment. Thank you all for being present and participating, and being the beautiful soul that is connected with each and every one of us as one. Thank you for a wonderful, incredible moment. And you see, do we have any further interactions we would like to bring forward in this particular gathering?
Everybody, thank you for, this was the unification of the souls. If until now you didn't know you are already connected, it just like is affirmation that we are there and we feel it and initiate it. And now, anytime you can sit, even we put the time there, anytime you sit, you have access to all the souls. As I said before, we are already connected, we already telecommunicating, but we're just not aware of it. But we will, as time goes by, we will hear each other's voice, and that we talk to each other through our mind. And it will
Dear
happen.
Azar, can you speak a little bit louder or come to the microphone? We can barely hear you.
Yes, as time passes by, we will hear our voices of each other, and we start talking to each other and telecommunicate. As I said, we are already doing it, but it's very we don't notice it. So we will notice it very soon. If anybody wants to say something about the experience today, please do so.
Hello. Yes, I'm Stefania from the Universal Council, language representative. I have to say that it took me back exactly in the Mojan, is how we used to train. Mr. Cash used to say, no talk, just do this. And if I had an idea, no, if after we leave, for example, now that we are together, we continue the connection. Then when we leave this Zoom, there are some of us who can keep, if whenever we can, pop up to our head, we connect. Maybe there are so many of us that we keep this going 24/7. But this is exactly what we were practicing the Mojan, hours and hours and hours every day. Only this, it really took me back. Like you choose the position, a position who is comfortable for you, and you just stay there and connect. It was exactly like this. So we can do easily. We are all over the world, so it's brilliant. So I recommend to continue this. And fixed, like we said, now would be good to fix the next appointment and do it longer. This may be what we could do. Leave the Zoom, even to find a Zoom room where it's always open and people can go into this Zoom platform, something like that. Where I don't know, and then without the Zoom platform. Anyway, this is my idea, but definitely continues like this. This is the one, without speaking. I stopped talking.
Stefania, we can also, what you said is very, very good, but also we will put time, for example, for Monday, Tuesday, for 7 days a week, we put different timing. Anybody likes on their own, they go sit in that time. It means, for example, if you put 2 o'clock Monday afternoon, whoever want to connect, they go sit at that time. So the minute you sit at that time, you connected to the rest of the people who chose that time. So you constantly can do this. And the more we do this, the more this is going to get, it's just like something start to become thickened, become stronger. And then that's why I said in time, we were gonna hear each other's voice. Suddenly you can hear someone in other side of the world is talking to you. You don't need the phone. This is gonna happen. If we continue doing this, it will definitely happen. It is happening now, but it's just like you see how you have a radio, you tune it to the, for example, it says 104.6 FM or AM. You tune it to that, you hear the music. So you adjust your tune that you can hear, like your sister in Canada or your brother in France or whoever, because you know how to use your system, your body system, because our system in our body is very complex machinery, but nobody gave us the manual user for this body. So now we start to little by little find out this manual by ourselves, because when we were born, nobody gave us the manual. So we will start figuring out little by little, what is this, what is that, how can I hear? So it will become stronger. And then the minute it starts, at one point of the system start working, suddenly it lights up the other part of the body. So in time, when you close your eyes, you will see, actually, Mr. Kelly says, when you close your eyes, Stefania was talking about it, you have the whole universe inside your head. And that's true.
Azar, I think you should translate this to all the people here that don't understand what you're saying. So this should be translated into different languages or something, because they're all sitting there not knowing what's going on.
Are there people who are continue to meditate?
Okay, so you want me to translate in Farsi and somebody else translate in...
Well, I'm just saying you have an audience here of 160 people, and most of them don't have the English language as their native language, so they don't know, they don't understand what you're saying. So you should either finish up the workshop and make it so that you don't, have the conversation afterward, or let people know if you're going to have another workshop and what's going on in all the languages, so everybody knows what's going on.
But when you guys decide, we do that. There's no problem.
Can we continue to meditate?
And go ahead, Manos. What were you saying?
Yeah, if people want to continue. I'm asking Rick and if we can continue.
I would like to continue.
Stefania, what Rick is saying, he has a point, and all these languages here.
People are concentrating, and then we talk about these things another time in another workshop.
Yes, I will say that if we today's session is complete, then we can say goodbye for today, and we will always meet in this time soulfully. Kind of
Anybody can go if they like. Anybody.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, UC. Thank you all for participating. Thank you all for being part of this wonderful movement.
Sorry, Sweta, turn off your microphone. Thank you. Couldn't hear. So that should be translated into all the languages so people know what's going on, was my point. Great.
You're right, Rick, absolutely right. And I'm glad you interrupted me. You're correct. And I think we should end the meeting today, and then
but let's organize the next one. Let's tell everyone, because we're all here. We can organize the next appointment. We can meet.
We can decide on it and put it in all the chats later in the UC meeting.
Well, I thought you had the time already set this.
I think.
Time.
Yeah, Mr. Cash said the
so,
next
then,
day too. No? Next day we should meet as well from the recording. You say Wednesday and then Thursday.
Well, not each day in this public workshop though, right? Otherwise Dean will have to open it each time because I won't be able to.
Yeah, we can just put like a notice on Telegram where we all connect. So now we did initiation, and now we can translate this in different languages if you want.
But not
that we're gonna make an announcement on the next time we're all tune in, but don't have to be at Zoom any longer. We can all tune in just with a message in Telegram. What do you think?
Well, are you going to have another show at this time next week is what I'm asking.
I think it's good to have it.
Okay, yes. Okay, yes, why not? Yes.
Another Zoom meeting like this. Okay, then you should announce that and have it translated to all the languages here so everybody knows and understands that, is my point. So everyone should go through in each language and announce that to their people so they understand what's going on, that there will be another meeting next week and this meeting is over for now, or whatever you want to do with it.
We can also say that to everyone here in the panel, they speak different language, can write it down on the chat.
It's funny, you can talk about it in Italian, like next week, Wednesday, same time. I said in Persian and Farsi, and then everybody does the same for next week and close the meeting now. I say it in Farsi. برای تمامی کسانی که فارسی صحبت میکنن لطفاً هفته دیگه همین موقع ساعت به وقت شما ساعت 8:30 شب میشه، همین میتینگ رو داریم. بعد من جمعه که کلاس فارسی داریم قشنگ اینو براتون توضیح میدم. خیلی ممنون، مرسی، خداحافظ.
But Azar, they said 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So we meet 6 a.m. next Wednesday.
6 p.m.
Because, you know, we're supposed to do 6 a.m., 6 p.m.
Exactly the same time as today, because I don't know about both time.
Same time.
I'm saying it in Hindi. That आप सभी का फिर से हार्दिक स्वागत है आने वाले बुधवार को इसी समय आपको हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। आज के लिए ये अवस्था, ये प्रेरणा, ये आत्मा का मिलन, आज का विषय, आज की प्रकृति, आज थोड़ी देर के लिए हम रुकते हैं। आज आने वाले बुधवार को इसी समय 6 बजे भारतीय समय अनुसार फिर हम एक साथ आत्मा के उन्नयन के लिए मिलेंगे और विश्व ब्रह्मांड और पृथ्वी की सुरक्षा की पूरी व्यवस्था करेंगे। धन्यवाद, शुक्रिया।
Any other language wants to speak up about the timing for next week? We can just...
I'm saying it in Gikuyu. Nitugacemania rĩngĩ haha o mũthenya ta ũyũ, mũthenya wa gatatũ, kiumia twerekeire thaa 2 cia hwaĩ-inĩ o ta ũmũthĩ. Mũrarie thayũ na nĩ ngũmwendera maũndũ mega maya mothe mwĩrirĩirie mahinge na nĩ gwatuĩka guo. Ngai, thank you.
In Romanian, now, săptămâna viitoare ne vom întâlni la aceeași oră, la 7, post-meridian, pe același număr de Zoom, pentru a repeta din nou aceeași procedură, pentru a unifica sufletul umanității, sufletul omului, cu unicosul și întregul univers, creatorul. Vă mulțumesc și aș mai avea o propunere ca în fiecare seară la ora 9, ora României, fiecare să se gândească, să stea jos în pat, să să-și urmărească respirația, să o încetinească și să facă același exercițiu un sfert de oră, ca să știm să fim conectați în fiecare seară un sfert de oră la ora 9 sau 10, cum doriți. Sau și la 9 și la 10 ne gândim unii la alții, pentru că așa sufletul nostru va fi mai puternic. I'd like to translate also in English that I had a proposal every night at 8 o'clock Central European time to do the same exercise, each of us laying down in bed and looking to our soul of man, like today, trying to expand our soul at the level of the planet, of the universe, of the unicos, like today we did. If you agree, it's better to be together, because together we have more strength and power of our fields. Thank you very much.
Yes, Salomena, I agree, but I also agree to have 2 times on Wednesday. Once because for the different timing worldwide, so it's much easier for everyone in the world. And 2, because this was what Mr. Cash said, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And then also it's best to have 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. I think would be best. This is what I would like maybe to do in the future.
Keep in mind the Kesh Plasma Reactor Group starts Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you'll have 1 hour there, and I won't be hosting it because I can't do everything. So
you can do it in your reactor group, like take a couple of seconds for everyone come to your.
This is special. That's a separate thing. You got to keep clear what you're doing.
Okay, you're right. Actually,
are you going to do it at 6 a.m. as well? And then you have to get permission from Ella to do it then, because I don't know.
Okay.
Let's try the 6 p.m. and this next time. Okay.
Okay, go on. Understood.
Can I try?
You could.
I guess in Italian.
I would suggest you do the 6 a.m. as the one that people do on their own. And
yeah, you're right.
You use the other one as a reminder. Did everyone do it, earlier?
Perfect idea. Good.
I have a suggestion. Maybe we could make a group in Telegram where we can organize ourselves better, so we can give better information to our communities. And maybe it's like a smaller group that organizes the way we're going to deal with this, and say, okay, this is information we're going to pass out, because right now I think everybody's going to get confused listening to all the different suggestions. So maybe someone could organize this smaller group.
That is a good idea.
Can I jump here? 1 second, please.
Jump, Jalal.
Yes. Hi, Jalal.
Hi. I think you are missing just one thing. What you done now, you connected the soul of the man to the soul of physicality. Whenever you do not need even to be here, it's finished, it's connected.
Correct.
It is you whenever you would like, even in your dream, you can enter, you can tap in what you created here. We created a plasma, a ball of plasma. Every second is growing because it is giving, and any soul, any physicality take from this protection, it will add to it. It's growing and growing. And for us, only we need to connect the newcomers. Everyone who is coming, only we need to connect him to this plasma. Absolutely, you do not need to gather again. You yourself, you are already connected.
every second. You can give it more whenever you wish. And
Yeah,
if
but
you like
if
I
not
agree
to
with
forget, you just write it that you are connected to the bigger plasma, and this is the soul of the man. Thank you.
I agree with Jalal because we already got connected. So we don't need another group. What it is when the connection happens, Mr. Kai said, it's just like a cup is full.
What does it mean? What does it mean? A cup which is full.
What I meant was not that we need to get connected again. What I see is that everybody's getting confused with all the rest of the information. So this, if there's more information, should be dealt in a smaller group and then just give the last points. For example, we're already connected. We do not need to meet again. But if we meet again, let's appoint someone that's gonna say, we meet again at this time to do something else or whatever, but not discuss this in this big group, because I see there's a lot of people going out because we're into discussion of things.
That's right. And everything we say should be translated into every single language, so
Exactly,
everyone
because
knows what's going on.
Yes,
So
and what
that's why
we
there's
used to do usually is one of us gets into the group. For example, when we translate from other languages, one person gets into the group and does the translation into the other Zoom room so nobody misses out on any information.
I think if you connect to UC members and then tell them what you want, you can have your group, but don't forget it's universal. It's all humanity together. But
Can I
make
come
your
in,
own
please?
group.
Can I come in, please? Good evening.
Oh,
The reason we asked for tonight until the situation changes in 5+1 was mainly those who can attend physically attend, but the way you put a clock to have a 6 o'clock wake up call, you got to learn. The whole purpose of these things is you got to learn that you can do the same with your soul. Do I need to be here at 6 o'clock? Or can I set an alarm for my soul, for my school of thoughts or emotion, that at that time, such and such a time, I'll be there to do with my soul and my physicality. If he wakes up to it, he'll wake up to it. And this is what we're trying to change. Yes, we have an opportunity. We ask for the support of the Universal Council and all the Keshe Foundation worldwide to elevate the soul of the members of the negotiation, because this negotiation is very, very vital, important to all of us. From what we heard this afternoon from the head of IEA in a conference in Vienna, we are more or less given a carte blanche for disaster if nothing moves, if something doesn't change. And this is part of the problem which we are facing. If you look at the true Muslims, they wake up early in the morning regularly without any doubts, without the clock, and they've done it for centuries, and to say the sunrise prayer. Why can't we do that? Why do we need all these things to be who's going to be and what's going to be? And yes, we need support. This, what I call bunch of souls who I don't even know why they are dragging it this way. Yeah, but in a way it's exercise for all of us to see how we can get our souls to become to the point of doing it without necessarily being physically there to do it. You started teaching on a Wednesday morning, 1 minute of it, or beginning of it. Has anybody supported the talks, the soul of those who are there? Started teaching on a Thursday or Universal Council on Tuesday, or any language teaching. Just to remind, before we put these non-disclosures, what we might not do, that somebody gets, get us wrong and they might get us wiped out of the internet. It's just 1 second. Has anybody raised the soul of the members of the, in a way, negotiation group, but in a way, most of the world population, if you put it on? That's all we need to do. No use discussing what languages. Soul doesn't know languages. In the last Thursday teaching, I explained about Solomon. He spoke to the birds and the stone through his soul. And this is, you try, we did this, Universal Council has done that, the core team years ago has done that. Bunch of you target the soul of the members of the American group, some of them the leaders of the American government, some of you the French group and team, and the Iranian, anyway, the soul of Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, that he will see the light that his nation is suffering and how he can change it. Enlighten the soul of Biden, that he knows his action is creating so much suffering to children in Iran and the rest of the world. And that was the whole purpose of asking for this. In a way, we did that with wanting peace. We did that with the court and with the world leaders. And why do we need to elaborate and translate? When you remember any time of the day, raise the soul of the members of the, what we call negotiating team. The negotiating team is not 5 people in the front. It's thousands of them behind. They plan everything. Americans coming to negotiation with a team of psychologists. No nation has gone into negotiation with psychologists. They analyze the movement, what it is, and then they have their bunch of secret service in the background to find the weaknesses of the opposition, what it is. This is a new team, where is their greed, how we can handle it, what we can get them, what's their weak point. When you see these negotiations, it's not just people sitting there and 2 or 3 people in the White House or in office of Iranian president or the French president. It's a huge amount of, at least on each side, each country, if you put everything which is involved, you're looking at about at least between 1,000 to 3,000 people, minimum. And it's not easy. Try. The way we learned from the corona how to handle energies, maybe through this exercise, we'll learn how to connect with other souls, especially as was said for the new knowledge seekers. I haven't been there 3-4 years ago when you started creating peace. You don't see wars, even if it's one immediately, it's just a little candle opens up, the rest of the nation jump on it. And just try to go back to what you call the way a man wakes up every day before the sunrise and he tunes it to the time, summer, winter. He doesn't wake up in the winter at 4 o'clock in the morning to say a prayer. He wakes up at a time when the sun rises to say his prayer. How does he do it? How has he, is that devotion? Is that understanding the work of the soul? Or has it become an alarm clock? Who had an alarm clock for centuries? And they changed their time with the sunrise and with the sunset. Because they have access to the soul and the physicality. The soul of the man, the devotion to Muhammad, bless his name, wakes them up to be there at that time, to say their prayer. And how come we do it? What have we forgotten? And when you pray in the language of the soul, the Spanish, the German, the man on the moon and the Mars and the other galaxies all hear the same. You don't need to translate. Make knowledge seekers to understand the essence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cash. Is there anything else we need to continue on with, you see? Or are we happy now that I think we should continue on with this next week and set this meeting on a regular basis? And with what Mr. Cash has just explained, you know that you can be present in each and every single moment, and that is entirely up to you. So the choice is yours. We can do this in many different ways.
I think thank you very much, Mr. Cash, to Rick, and anybody to give this opportunity to us for this beautiful, profound, fantastic experience. Thank you very much. Just open the way. And I think that we can have different schedules for every community, and we know the hours, and we just join them. We don't talk, we just join them and attach ourselves to the other. We don't have to translate. If you know what time, we just join them.
Thank you, Marinez. Is there any further comments that anybody would like to make?
Maybe I propose we see, or at least you see, you get, or those who are interested and make a meeting like that for 5+1 reunion. Put that in our favor. Anybody want to do a meeting for 5+1? The same way that we wish to give from our soul that to elevate the soul of the user. I'm in.
Manas, your voice is not coming out. It's like as if you're in a well. It's very deep down.
Okay. Yes, I just said that if you want to do a meeting, whoever who wants, or UCS, just for meeting of 5+1, and we give from our souls to raise their souls and for the peace.
Marinez, we
Yes.
can use the One Nation, One Planet, One Race. We have that. That is a good platform or public platform.
And isn't that supposed to be the purpose of this group?
Yeah, we can do it now, maybe another 5 minutes, like where
Yes.
we connect now, right now, to thinking about, we use our collectiveness connection that we are now to maybe, to a couple of minutes or 5 minutes for the 5+1 right now.
Yes,
it's a crucial moment. We can start now.
Okay, now
our power.
again, you have a lot of people here that don't understand what you're saying, and you have to have some compassion for your
I
audience
will write
here,
it down.
which is mostly not English.
You can write it down in the chat. The translator are all here. They can write it down in the chat in any each language, just to 5 minutes more, or if you this is just an idea, and then if you think it's not.
It's okay. I think we can write it in chat. My telephone doesn't work well, so I cannot write in Farsi. I can only write in English.
Like, don't you think it's nice to, after what Mr. Cash just said, no? I thought, yes, let's use it for supporting the 5+1. Now they're having a meeting. So this is what I thought. It was just an idea.
Well, what was the original intention from Mr. Kesh about all this to the Universal Council? Was it for the intention of unification of souls through the 5+1 or 5+2, whatever you want to call it? Through that, is that the reason why we're doing this, is to elevate the souls of the 5+1 peace process, and part of that is the unification of all souls? Or is it two separate things that we're
I think
talking?
they two are together because each one of them representing a nation.
Yeah, I think it's like this. This meeting is for the unification of the souls, and if we can, and when we are unified like we are now, we can do stuff like that, like taking case by case, like Mr. Kesh said. So we can give our fields to 5+1 if that is what someone wants to do. Then they have to write it in the chat, and so it can be translated.
Yeah.
I think something which is from listening to the conversation in the past few minutes, we are not there to unify the members of the groups or people who are behind it. We are there to enlighten them to see. And that's a big difference. Our job, the way we are, is enlightenment, enlightening that they see the purpose of it, what will bring, what shall not bring. This is where us as a Keshe Foundation, and in teachings of past few weeks, and they'll be reiterated again and again in communication to the members of the negotiating team, is the fact that a new knowledge, a new light has risen. And that light makes what was before obsolete. This is the enlightenment we need to bring to these people. You're knowledge seekers, you see things, and in many teachings I've explained to, let me explain to you the meaning of what is being and what is now. You talk about material enhancement unit. In the other teachings I brought it up. What does a natural, what we call material enhancement unit is to produce what you want, when you want, at little cost. I want plutonium 100% pure, I use the fields. Because the plutonium or uranium or gases of it which I produce need to be pure, need to be clean, need to be 100%, that I get what I want from it. Now, We have the technology, we can deliver, it's been tested, it's confirmed. You can produce what you need pure. If you set your reactor to produce a pure, not combination. And we're talking about system which is sitting in this in the exhibition of the Keshe Foundation, can produce 100% pure plutonium or uranium because we need it for deeper space. And then when you sit and listen, even today, to the head of IAEA, he just returned from Tehran and says nothing has been done. They are trying to negotiate that Iran go back to 3 and 5% what we call purification of material. That Iran one day might become nuclear power if it has 80%, 90%. Now you can see the enlightenment needed to be done. We as knowledge seekers produce the purest, and we are part of the community of all the nations. And our leaders are fighting that 3 and 5% can be kept, that you don't go to 60, 70, 80% that you produce nuclear weapons. Now we can see the enlightenment needed, not uniting. This is where the problem sits, the old and the new, the past and the present. When you have a car with, let's say, half of material in it,
Rick, we lost Mr. Cash.
Yeah, Mr. Kesh has dropped out for a while. I'm sure he'll be back in some moment.
Sorry about that. I just fell out. So if I was saying, if you have a tank of diesel and you put oil, whatever, petrol, whatever you call it, and you put 2 liters of water by mistake in it, or 2 liters of oil by mistake in it, the engine misfires. The engine doesn't work. There's something happens in your carburetor or something happens somewhere else, and you cannot reach. The engine doesn't go. It's the same if we do not produce pure materials in the enhancement units, and then we want to make a fuel out of it. Can you imagine the spark and the bang you hear in the back of a car which has got water in it or whatever? This time is energy field. You end up in another point in the universe, in another dimension, which you never planned to be. That's the difference between the bang when you put the water in it and when you don't produce pure fuel you need. And this is where the problem sits. We don't need to unify. We need to enlighten and understand the new knowledge. And this is where the Universal Council, the members of the Keshe Foundation worldwide, the knowledge seekers come in, who have been enlightened, and by little candles, they can enlighten that light the whole city, that the others be enlightened, they can see the path. What's next? We agree with 10% purification, then we agree 20%. We have a technology which gives you 100% pure. What are we going to do? And the both knowledge comes from the same part of this planet called Iran. The knowledge of the plasma technology, and they're getting sanctions for 3% or 5%. Doesn't match. It needs enlightened, it needs to be understood then you've done the job. Then we can go into the next step, as one said, mixing the physicality and the work of the soul. We are all knowledge seekers. We all seek to understand the knowledge of creation. But in that process, we are there to enlighten the others to understand. This is where we ask for support, for you to enlighten the members of, to understand the new knowledge, to understand the new change. How come you want to sanction for 3 and 5%, where we can purify by 100%? Without it, we cannot go into space. We cannot have a structure in the space. When you look at the, what I call the pictures, very first pictures, which we put in public. If I can't find it, should be very easy. When you look at these pictures, the 2 reactors in the background is very simple. These are nuclear space reactor. They use nuclear material. We cannot go anywhere. In the teachings I've explained before, without nuclear material, even in your body, you will not be born, you will not be divided. The cells in your body does not divide for you to exist. This is what nor the Iranian nuclear negotiators understand, nor the 5+1 scientists and the negotiators. And this is where it needs enlightenment, not unifying. And this is what I say, anytime during the day, during the night, you just remember you enlighten the members of the negotiation team. You don't know where they are. They're in the sleep, they receive you. They might be in kitchen cooking something, making a tea, sitting in the table of negotiation. They get enlightened. And you are the match to light that candle, because you have understood. And that's all we're asking for. The physicality, you water the planet every Sunday, 6 and 12 o'clock. The reality, you enlighten the soul of the, what we call members of the negotiating teams, because behind it is a bigger plan. Behind it is one that understand how ridiculous it is, then you understand the change. I'm sitting in Vienna in the background to negotiating teams. I see the problem. We are senior advisors to nation. Our word counts, what we do counts, what we say counts, and we have to be there that when we talk, it brings that peace. It's not that we put words, with words we enlighten. I'm an Iranian senior negotiator. We started a 5+1. But I still pity the negotiators from the Americans and the Germans that are still after 3 and 5%, when I laugh and say, we have a system of 100%, what do you want to do? I'm talking to you from here, not very far from the negotiating hotel. So I don't need to be in there. We're the one who advise behind the scene what needs to be done to be there to bring the change. And we don't wait for somebody to make a decision. We make a decision and read through the soul. But we still have to handle the physicality. We kick one side and we kick the other side. We enlighten one and we enlighten the others. And somewhere we get it. I don't need to be in the negotiating table because I saw the seed of peace in them. They'll find a solution. This is the difference. This is what we ask. And this is you have to do an exercise. You've been to the classroom and then teacher gives you a paper to sit down for exercise. What we ask you to do is that exercise, and nobody fails in this exercise. This is not an exam. You just want to see how good you have understood. And if you understood, how good you can reach the members of the negotiating team.
Mr. Kesh, it's Dean here. Can I ask a question, please? Yeah. So the negotiating team, as a thought, as a soul, just by connecting with that thought to the negotiating team of the 5+1, this connection is what we require?
More or less to enlighten all of them. Doesn't mean somebody might be enlightened by the purity of your soul, one member. Somebody will be enlightened by what Rick says tomorrow and he wishes from his soul that they be enlightened. Doesn't mean we all reach all, but collectively we can cover most. We've been here, it's the third day, sitting in the background, pushing and shoveling with the Iranians, and the Americans know we are sitting behind. I'm sure the British are having a nightmare if we walk into the negotiating rooms. We are major key game players in this negotiation. And it's the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation which sits there. You do the job in the back and I do the job in the front. Even though I can reach the whole lot. But it's an exercise, how well we understand ourselves, how well can we do things.
Does this play a part, Mr. Kesh, in how pure our intentions and thoughts are?
All depends. Doesn't count by purity, it counts by how much you have understood, how much you've been enlightened. My job is to sit and push and shovel in the background. And one team does something else, the other team does something else. But we still keep going because they have to understand the change. Once they understand the change, then the change will come. If they don't understand it and you want to unite them, in a few days they walk away and they become each other's enemy. The dossier is made, especially for the meeting of the 6+ or 5+1, or I call it 6+1 because Iran is a 6th member, and ready to go. We can change the course by putting the dossiers on the table, but we are waiting till the maturity comes, till you lot do your work, we do our work. But when we do our work, we bring the facts on the table. And then the souls need to have that backup to enlighten. If you look, it's the first time the job is back to front. We teach you the soul and you do one check it with physicality. This time I'm doing the physical work. You are supposed to raise the soul. This is a promise of Mitra. You've seen me in the office on Monday. printing all the papers necessary for negotiation. We are seeing,
Mr. Cash, did
we
what we do this evening, for some of us, did this enlighten? Did this connect enough?
oh no,
Did it
you have to
serve a
decide.
purpose?
We have to see. Universal Council wish for peace, and we reach 7 billion to bring peace in. And guns are silencing one by one. This is where I explained before that the time of Mitra, the soul of the physicality and the soul of the man works, and it can interchange. And this time I have given you that opportunity for the second time. I do the physical side, you do the soul side, where we always talk to you about the soul teaching, how it works and how it's connected. Now is exam time, it's a test time. And nobody fails. And none of you have understood this. Monday and the day before, we sat and prepared everything. I can stop the negotiation tomorrow morning. We have enough documents to stop everybody to think and come back on the table. But it doesn't bring anything, because then they find another way to create more problem. Now, this is where the change has come. This is where I tell you, this time, you are the soul makers. You are the part of the soul. And I play the physical part in front and the back, pressurizing the Americans and the Iranians with their physical knowledge, and at the same time putting a hand of friendship to both of them. I've got a harder time with the Iranian team than I have with the 5+1. And I'm sitting in 3 days, 4 days in Vienna till we get what we want. And we don't even need to attend into the conference. Let's see how much you learn from all the teachings of the soul in past 2 years. I look after physicality side. There's no language, there's no need for translation, there is nothing.
So, Mr. Kesh, according to my understanding, it's already done. It's a condition that we have. We have peace in this moment.
Last time took you 3 years to bring peace. This time we have 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday afternoon, they start meeting, Monday negotiations start. See what you can do in 3 days.
Mr. Kesh, can every language translate what you said, that we concentrate our 5, elevating the soul of 5+1 people during these days intensively?
All depends. You don't need to translate. What we say is heard by the soul of the whole humanity. Depends who wants to do the job. You see, I was explained by national securities once that for me to go somewhere, it takes nearly 200 people. And I said, why? He said, you see, we have to put officers on the ground. We have people to program these officers. We have to arrange all the vehicles. We have to arrange then people who know where you're going to be, the next step to be in front, that before you arrive there to be checked out to be there. When he counted to me, when we looked at it, one person, when you look at everything behind it to be protected, it takes 200 officers or people, cleaners, whatever you call it. When you bring such a team of negotiators on the table, there are thousands sitting behind them. You need to enlighten all those 1,000 people. That true, if one sees something, that he can enlighten others, that he needs to negotiate, the negotiator understands, and all you enlighten negotiator. As I said, the documents I carry with me, some 40 pages of it, will bring an end to negotiation in 1 minute, because I know what it can do. And it's so simple. It takes them 10 minutes to read it. I do the physical side. You make sure when they read it, they don't find another way to overcome something else, but they see the light that they can go forward. And that's all it is. It's your test time, but it's test for you on the soul side, not translating and doing this or that. If we want to do it, we do it without anybody need to know. But we have to raise the totality of the man.
So in these quiet moments, Mr. Kesh, I can speak for, I would imagine, but the other souls that are present here and listening to this information would be giving from their souls and elevating the 5+1, so they get this enlightenment that they require, so that they cannot renegotiate away from the soul interactions that we are conducting with your instructions and the words that we are participating in this very moment. Thank you, Mr. Kesh.
Our problem is, our biggest problem is for Iranian leadership to understand that sanctions on Iran are subjective and objective to knowledge gained and possibility of expanding that knowledge. What we have to do with the 5+1 to enlighten them that the knowledge is not punishable just because the teacher has not got the knowledge or the things that the student might even understand more faster. This is our problem. This is where we sit. This is where the crunch of the whole matter sits in this position. It's not coincidental that it's here. It's a test for all of us to be there. And I said, very soon, Iranian nuclear physicists will be in the Oval Office signing treaties with the Americans and the rest across Europe. But to get to that point, we have to understand, they have to understand what is the difference. Not just because, oh, now they can do 100, we have to be afraid of them, bring them in. They have to understand that 100% pure means expansion for the man, means comfort for everybody else, means everything else that we were afraid of. If you walk into the Linz Exhibition Center, there is no system more important than the material enhancement unit, and nobody pays attention to it. It makes your food, it makes your medicine, it makes your energy, it makes your environment, it makes everything you need to be self-sufficient, independent. All the knowledge seekers who want to invest, they want only invest to body enhancement unit. And I try to raise the interest that, okay, we need one material, but they don't understand. When you can create the right energies in the right combination of material and you can stand in the material enhancement unit, do you need the body enhancement unit? And it's the same with all of your knowledge seekers. You're so involved in physicality that you miss the boat with what is sitting there, and we just put material next to it.
Mr. Cash. Good evening, can you hear me?
Yep. Hello, Carlos John, how are you?
Hi, you okay? Sorry, I just wanted to suggest something. First, thank you very much for this opportunity. Most probably a lot of us actually have wished for the elevation of the souls of the negotiator and participant. I did most of it anyhow tonight, for their soul to be, to put them in a position where they take a decision where it will bring world peace and harmony and tranquility. What I was going to ask you, is it possible in any way that you could produce this matter? Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be plutonium, obviously, because everybody will be damaged very badly. But I'm just saying, any matter you could produce, perhaps put them in a position, say, look, we are in this technology. You're going about crumbs. Here we are. We can produce aluminium. We can produce gold. We can produce copper and zinc as much as you want. Here it is. And you're going about 3 or 5 or 10, 15% or 20% of enrichment. Would you be in a position to demonstrate to this negotiating table?
It's in front of you on your screen, Carlos John.
Yeah.
This is what is produced with the technology.
They just don't simply want to embrace it. They just don't want to accept it. They think they're in a dream.
It's not accepting it. It's not accepting it. It's comprehending the change is going to bring.
Yeah.
You say to show. It's very easy. We have all the facilities to show. And certified by, tested by laboratories in Europe, confirming the content. We gave the gold of it to the Chinese. And what did they do? They said it's not enough. There is not enough of it.
I wish you a lot of luck, Mr. Cash. I really wish you a lot of luck with this upcoming negotiation, which is just around the corner. And as you suggested, I think we should and we shall collectively try to elevate the negotiating teams and all the others behind them to be elevated in order to bring about this peace, which is long awaited. And God knows you have done a lot in order to bring about this and to get it realized for us, the humanity. I wish you from the bottom of my heart and soul, and I'm sure the rest of the Universal Council, as well as the knowledge seekers, they're all in the same boat. And we shall achieve it. We shall achieve it with grace of God. God bless you, Mr. Cash. I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much. We don't need luck because we're sitting here for man to become lucky to understand the value of the knowledge. And on the other hand, we have a big problem that if the 5+1 steps down, the Iranians will claim victory and the rest of it, and we have a bigger problem. If they don't get what they want, then we see more suffering. And this is more or less the job of us to make sure both get enlightened, that nobody wins and nobody is there to destroy more. The biggest problem sits with us as people who are negotiators in the background. We push and shovel and all sorts of things, is to enlighten with the knowledge. As I said, the dossier which is prepared for 5+1 will stop the whole of the negotiation in one go once it's submitted. You're asking us to step down to 3 to 5%. We can produce 100%. And what we do, we ask you to join us. Not that now we have 100, we're going to produce plutonium, uranium, and make the nuclear bomb which kills us. We already have the knowledge. Join us to expand it. This is a clear message from the Iranian nation. Because our leaders are deaf. Doesn't matter on the American side, the Iranian side, whoever is behind whatever it says.
Mr. Cash? Can you hear me?
Yep, I've been hearing you for long.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This remind me, this meeting remind me a lot, bring me back to the Mojan, because I remember when you said to us to be quiet and to, I know I use the word connect, but now today I understood you meant that we have to enlighten now, and you ask us, all of us, so we are all Mojan, you ask us to take care of the soul of the negotiator, to enlighten them. So I did felt it as a personal experience when we demotion the power of what you're asking, the power of what you're asking to take care. I mean, I've had the top of the iceberg, but I know the potential. You know, I I just wanted to say that you said that we're supposed to do it non-stop until it's done. Little bit like when we treat when we do the protocol, you always said to me, don't stop until it's sorted. So this is what you have to do, isn't it? We have to enlighten non-stop until this is done. Correct? I understood well. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, I also want to say to my Messiah, Shriman M. Tekesh, Salam, Shashwat Pranam, Namaste, salute, my dear Messiah. I want to say that today we understood the communication of the soul of man in a way, in reality, in truthfulness, that has been never before, really, really. And we all are a soul in all the moments, timelessness, to elevate here, to elevate the soul of the negotiators, those who are coming. And we see you signing the peace papers, the papers of all for abundance on behalf of all humanity. So we understood now. And we are here. You do the physical way, we are with you as soul of man. Thank you. Thank you being with us. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
But I would like to have said, I remember also you said that when we think is not it, and we have to bring back this, you always talked many times of bring back these unconditional love feelings when you love someone like your child, someone who will give unconditionally. So is this also, because I remember you said, if you think we are not at the soul level, so we have to bring the feelings of unconditional love. It's correct. I mean, this is what I remember. So when you said in enlightened people, if you mean we have to brought this unconditional love feeling. Is it correct? Because I remember that was what I remember you was teaching us.
May I say something? Mr. Kesh, I really don't understand neither American nor Iranian what is their problem, because they're riding a donkey, as I said now, and you're offering them, you can come and sit on a plane, and they just don't see it. And then to me, they're in coma, and just somebody has to wake them up from the coma. As simple as that, because the reality of it is very simple, but maybe to me it's simple, but for them, as I said, it just, somebody has to wake them up.
Asa, we don't need to wake them up.
Are they up? I think it seems like to me.
Soul is like your soul.
Because
it's
it's
totally
so.
You're giving from your soul to their soul. The physicalities will move, and we just need to be in the moment right now that it's already achieved. It's done. We have peace. They have peace, and we're now in that moment. We have everything that we require here in this moment. And when we all think like this in this moment, we have it. It's achieved, and we have everything already. It's always been there. Thank you, Azar.
I think they have greed, power, the greed for power, and no respect for humanity, no compassion, no empathy for all this unnecessary suffering. In their short vision, I think we can come out bigger after this. I feel already bigger because I feel like what Mr. Kesh says, I created you in my image, the image of God. Like during these kind of things, we feel like bigger. We can stretch ourselves even more by empathy. Good exercise. Thank you, Mr. Kesh.
Mr. Cash, is the final day November 28th?
Negotiation starts on 29th, Monday. And the Iranian team up here will arrive here tomorrow. Partially, some arrived already. And the senior negotiators have not arrived yet. The chief negotiator is still in Tehran.
And the negotiation is going to be for a week or until they resolve it?
6 months.
6 months. Okay.
Ayatollah Khamenei has instructed to be finished for 21st of March. We would like to finish it by 21st of December. of December is the birth of Mitra. And we are targeting that day if we can.
Okay, Mr. Cash, we finish it on 21st of December then.
And all your people in New York and Washington, I will see.
Mr. Cash, if my source desire to finish it December 21st, we will finish December 21st then.
We have a hand up, Sibylla. Sorry, Sibylla, you've had your hand up for quite some time. Would you still like to speak, or shall I lower your hand? I take that as a no. Okay, thank you. Would anybody else like to ask Mr. Kesh a question whilst he is here? If you would like to, please raise your hand, and Ms. Kesh will answer your question. I would while he's present.
Hello, Mr. Kesh. Hello, everybody. I'd like to inform you that we had a common discussion Romanian-French, and ex-Minister of Finance, Monsieur Lamassoure, when I asked him to try to make an agreement with Iran regarding the hydrogen technology to have pure hydrogen, not mixed with carbon. He said, yes, it's a good idea, but Iran wants to be nuclear power, and we do not agree with this. Just said like this. And our wish now maybe will be to change their mind and their soul on this direction, to have hydrogen resulted from nuclear reaction, nuclear technology, which is pure and can bring to all humankind pure hydrogen and save the planet from the climate change. This could be a good way of understanding, and will be a common denominator to have pure energy, green energy, clean energy, hydrogen, and also nuclear.
Transportation of hydrogen gas around the planet is not part of the plasma technology, so far as I know. The hydrogen used in a Kesh reactor is a very, very small amount, if any, in the new types of reactors.
Also, I don't think
Iran
doesn't want to become a nuclear power, because if Iran wanted that, they had the power to start any war anytime, but they never did that. So the intention for them is to use the knowledge they've been using it, but they turn it around and they say Iran wants to become a only nuclear power in the world, but it's not true, because if you look at it, if Iran has the nuclear power and they can transfer it to the rest of the world, for the rest of the world, it will become cheaper. But then the American and the rest of them, what they want to do, they want to, like usual, take it for themselves, and they start selling everything from their point of view to other people to abuse. So, and no longer nobody wants to be abused. Everybody wants to be equal, and they approaching it from equal point, because Iran, if you go back to the base of Iraq, what they did, they already have this knowledge from 2008. So they could have done anything anytime they wanted. So that's not their intention. So their intention is very clear. American intention is been if it's the old way, that's not good for the way humanity. So the question is, the American at this point, are they going to change the way? Are they going to get elevated, change the way of looking at the world? And for Iranian, at the same time, the question is, do they want to share the knowledge they have? So for American is to change the whole way, and for Iranian to be able to share with the rest of the world.
I think the situation there, as far as we're concerned, is both sides are wrong and both sides are right, and all of us are in this what I call cycle. Those in America does not touch them, the sanctions. Those in China, the same. But it touches the life of some 80 million people, which through them, we see another 200 million lives touched. In Syria, in every other part of Middle East. in different patterns and form, where if these nations work together, the others don't need to suffer either. This is the reality of it. And then we see the backlash of it on the other scale in different part of the world. If you can save one life with these people understanding, you serve your purpose. This situation, trying to bring a nation or leaders of a nation down since end of 70s, early 80s, should say, has been the cause of millions of deaths. And always, always, Americans were right to do whatever they like to do. And they gathered as much as they could. You just go. The reason we ask for a change in soul of the 5+1 is because we have seen the hardship, the pain it has brought from the time of the new Islamic regime in Iran. Just go back, 1980s. We had a war between Iran and Iraq, which was financed and supported by Vatican and England and United States for Islamic religion or Islamic Republic of Iran not to expand. How many million died? Then out of that, we saw Saddam thinking he can do whatever he likes. He went to Iraq. And we saw what that did. And they all gathered to get him out of Iraq, 250,000 army soldiers. In the most advanced time of their military, they managed to get to, at least to get one army of God knows 1 million, 500,000 back into place. How many million people died in that process? Then what did it create? The refugees, the split of the nation, all those deaths. And then what happened? There are more problems. They went and they started the problem because Syria was backed by Iran. Then the problem in Syria. How many Syrians are refugees around the world? How many Iranians are refugees around the world? How many Iraqis are in here? How many Kurds are refugees around the world? The story is not nuclear. The story is the superiority of the Vatican. This is where it sits, and that's where the enlightenment needs to come. Then we saw the problem in Yemen. How many people have died there? Again, one regime trying to support, we are peaceful, but they're testing their weapons, the other doing the same. And when we asked to enlighten the, what we call this group of negotiators, is to enlighten the nation, the leaders, and to see there is no end to wars if they want to carry it in different shape or form. This is where is needed, because what is going to be next if you are not enlightened? What is going to be now the new technologies here? What happened when we put the systems on the ground in the factories and we produce aluminiums as you need it, we produce food as you need it, then what's going to happen to millions of people in Africa who make a living out of mining? What's going to happen to all the greenhouses around the world in winter and summer producing tomatoes and God knows what to get to you? The change is fundamental with this technology. But how we take it, how we approach it, has to start from 5+1. And that comes from enlightenment. And this is what the knowledge seekers have to understand, to be part of, to expand it. As I said to the evening officials in past few hours, when I leave Vienna, the firework starts.
Mr. Cash, what does it mean?
You will understand soon.
Mr. Cash, to me, is like this. You know, have anyone done knitting? You making a sweater and you leave it in a basket, and you have a cat, and the cat comes and make it a whole mess and make it knot everywhere, and then you come home, and then you have to find that main knot that once you open it, you can put the whole thing together. To me, this 5+1 is the main knot. If we can open it, everything else is flow, which is very, very important.
This is what we said for months. Is the key to change our humanity. A lot of people think, oh, it's just because he's Iranian and he thinks no, because we know what it'll imply. As we speak tonight, as we are here, there's discussions going on in Tehran and in Washington, and we are aware of both of them, discussion going in London and in Geneva. What are we going to do with Kesh? He's sitting in Vienna. People from both sides tell us this is a dilemma. Why are you sitting for past 3 days and doing nothing in Vienna? That we have to make a decision. You know, when you play a game of chess and you play it for a long time and you are waiting for the last checkmate, but you know it's going to come, but you don't know how it's going to come, which pawn, which one will be moved to bring the checkmate. This is what they're waiting for, that both sides will be checkmated. Both sides.
Last fight of darkness and light.
There's no darkness, is understanding to bring the change. I have the American telling me, are you coming in? I said, no. I have the Iranians say, are we going to let him go in? We don't know. The French say, he has something with him. We got to watch what he's going to come in with. If you just go today and listen to the head of the IEA report coming back from Tehran to report today to attend the annual meeting of IEA in Vienna, then you will understand the extent of, we all know we need something to be done and nobody's moving in to do it because we know exactly what needs to be done. The worst thing for both sides will be if we sit on the seat of negotiation. That'll be the coffin in the nail of both sides. Because then they have to come to an agreement. Then they have to find a way. Nobody wants to say they got it wrong, and nobody wants to see the other side winning without them having something. And as I said to our team in Iran, Keshwan nation has to vote to make one nation from all of them. Then they have nothing to lose. Nobody loses anything, and we just all become one. And we are on that verge. We are on that point. And it only depends when we decide to move. And you're the back end. You're the one now handling the soul. You do your work, we do our work. And the reason I came in, I saw the meeting was supposed to be a way to elevate the soul of the negotiators, even back to Universal Council can do it. Can we have translation of it? In a way, you get 3 questions, and if you answer 2, you pass the exam. You fail the first one. As a knowledge seekers in Universal Council. You did not see the purpose of the work, why we asked to start elevating the soul of the what we call negotiators. You got pucked down again back to a dimension of physicality and teaching and elevating how it should be done. And this is where I said is a test for you to learn. And without learning, you can't go forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kesh. I think that was some very wonderful and deep knowledge that you've just shared with us once more. And I'm sure many of the knowledge seekers here and all the Universal Council members and the souls present will elevate the souls that need elevation and enlightenment of the negotiation teams that are present and you've just spoken about. And I give freely and unconditionally for my soul that they receive this enlightenment to their souls. And I think that's been a wonderful meeting. It's been a great meeting that has brought about the souls connecting and acting as one, being on a soul level, connecting, and it's been an incredible moment, a pivotal moment that has been happening in many languages. I know in many different ways across the Kesh Foundation and in many moments. But in this moment, all the languages coming together, what Mr. Kesh said earlier on, all the languages, the continents, countries, this is all, when we interact on a soul level, this all melts away. We connect directly with Source, and there is no separation of these borders. It no longer exists. And so when we concentrate, or when we, in fact, not concentrate, when we just know that it's so and sense it and feel it, then it is so. And it's been as I said, a wonderful meeting. And I thank you all for being present. It's been incredible. Thank you very much, all of you. And we will do it again. We will speak about it as we have said. and we will orchestrate it so that next week, same time, 6 p.m, we will, CET time that is, we will organise this meeting once more and come together as a group of souls. But as Mr. Kess has already told you, you can do this in each and every moment. Each and every one of you can bring this enlightenment to the teams, these negotiating teams, and all the souls that need this in these moments. So thank you all for being present, and I think we'll close this meeting now unless anybody has any last comments they would like to make.
Yeah, I love to talk Farsi because my telephone didn't write Farsi. من خدمت برادران خواهران فارسی عزیزم درود میفرستم و افتخار میکنم به شما. تمام دنیا به زودی پشت سر شما خواهد بود و شما آخرین سنگرهای غیرت و شرف در راه راستی هستین و من از صمیم قلب برای شما دعا میکنم همیشه و تمام دنیا با شما خواهد بود و من افتخار میکنم که هم شما و هم آقای کش هر دو با یک زبان صحبت میکنیم. انشالله که همیشه سلامت و با محبت و با عشق بمونید.
Thank you, Marinez. Thank you very much. Any last comments, anybody? Otherwise, I'm going to close this meeting, this gathering of the souls. But remember, we're all connected in every moment, and you can still continue on in every moment. So any last comments? If not, then we will bring this meeting, this gathering to a conclusion. As Rick would say, going once, twice.
One
very
thing,
much, everybody.
One thing, thank you, Dean, for hosting today. Good job. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dean and Rick. Beautiful. Thank you. You see, everybody, beautiful. Thank you. I love you.
We love you too, Marinez, because we love each and every single soul that's present. Thank you so much, all of you. Love and gratitude and peace to each and every soul. Thank you.
So we'll do these 3 days at 6 in the morning and 6 in the afternoon in our own to elevate the soul of each team from this 5+1 to be able to be in agreement, to find common denominator and to see the benefit of plasma technology and nuclear technology for the future of humanity, of all the people, not only in the interest of the few. Thank you.
Thank you, Solomia. Thank you for your words. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being present. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you all.